We've come now to the fifth phase of the DMAIC and DMADV methodologies. For DMAIC, the fifth phase is control, and for DMADV, it's validate. Looking at DMAIC first, there are three high-level activities that are executed in the control phase. The first is control strategy. The second is an implementation of the controls. And then the third is final capability. Looking at those in detail, on the control strategy side, we want commonly an FMEA and also commonly a control plan. And this gives us now a completed or completely updated FMEA, a control plan, and perhaps an updated process flow. So this now we've got the process finalized. We've got the, as it says here, in the case of the control plan, so we know what the key input variables are. We know the specification behind those variables. We know how frequent those are to be measured, where they're going to be recorded, and what to do when the specifications are not met. So that's the control plan. Also, we can do something similar through an FMEA, and the FMEA is now updated. It entirely reflects the new process. And in there, we're able to assess the degree or the extent to which we believe the process can be controlled through the RPN number. On the implementation or the implement control side, the control methods are put in place. The documentation has been institutionalized, which means that the documentation is completed, training's been done, that it is now part of the corporate documentation system. Many times that's official documentation. And then finally, the capability is a final process capability. To what extent now does the process perform relative to the intentions of the team or the organization? And then we've got any financials that need to be updated as well. Now, if we look over at the DMADV methodology, the first thing we do in the validate phase is conduct a pilot or a prototype, and then document the design, and then of course implement, and the details behind that are on the pilot or prototype side. We've got a design FMEA. Perhaps we've got some completed design of experiments or a transfer function or maybe some hypothesis testing. But in the end, what we're trying to do is make sure that the pilot or the prototype has been created and that the product design has now been finalized. On the documentation side, we want final documentation. We want to make sure that the supply chain is ready and capable. And then lastly is the final design scorecard. The SOPs are written, there's a control plan in place, standard work perhaps, and then process FMEAs. So that's really what we're trying to do in this final fifth phase of the methodologies, is to make sure that all of the work that the team and the organization has done can now be released into production, and that with all reasonable measures having taken place, we can now assure ourselves that this product or process will, going forward, meet the organization needs and customer needs as well.